Good evening, grave robbers, and welcome back to the television graveyard. We are your TV necromancers, Laura Crane and Noel Houlihan, and we have come here tonight to examine the spirits of past television shows, to find out which ones could be resurrected, should be resurrected, and which ones should just stay doomed. This is a podcast in which we'll analyze the history, the hype, and the aftermath of shows that ran only one season, only one episode, or took like a really long time between reboots, okay? With me as always is TV's Noah Houlihan.
A kingdom divided is already defeated.
So we're back at the Quest. Oh man, Noah's so happy he didn't even say the Quist.
The Quist. It's Lucy Darling. Just realized.
The Quist.
Yeah. Oh, Quist.
Quist. I wouldn't. I mean, I would, but...
I won't. So...
I would have rather watched Lucy Darling do literally anything.
I would rather do a lot of things than watch this. So this is episode 7 and 8 of The Quest.
And as you might be able to tell, we didn't care for this last part.
Gang, if you listened to our previous episode, which I assumed you did, because if you haven't, I don't know why you're listening to this one. I really was like, you know what, they can turn it around. And man, do they not turn it around. Let's get into The Quist, episode 7. So
we were leaving as Cedric had taken the sword and was journeying away to save Sanctum. You may remember that Cedric is not one of the paladins, he is one of the NPC characters. Adeline follows her brother, acting fairly sus, and this intercuts with the paladins going, oh, maybe Adeline was innocent.
Yeah. So, Cedric does successfully escape, and is like, you know, they're children. The paladins are children. I am the true hero.
He's not wrong.
I will be back. You have to trust me. As Cedric runs away, Adeline faces somebody. Like, doesn't she get faced by the Dark Legion or something?
Yes.
I will have more to say about this later. I feel like now is not the time for me to voice my gripe with this.
Yeah, this is intercut. So he breaks a hole in the dome, and Adeline accuses him of doing it so that he can claim the throne.
Yes.
I can sneak past the Dark Legion and take back the Divine Crown from Devora.
So that you can claim the throne?
This is for Sanctum. Go back. Tell no one you saw me.
Cedric, please don't do this!
And he's like, no, this is for my people. And this is when I point out, Adeline's out of bed and the sword is missing. She's already been accused of taking the scepter.
That's what I was going to bring up. Wasn't she in prison? Isn't the last time we saw her guards leading her away because she was a traitor?
Yeah, she was supposedly, like, locked in the tower for her thievery.
And now she's just out and about.
I don't really like any of the heirs at this point enough to care.
Right.
So, she manages to hit this guard, but she gets, like, slashed with a sword. We don't see blood, we don't see any carnage, but it's enough to make her fall down.
Yes.
And then we also see this intercut with the paladins finding out how to get the torch. They're going to leave at first light.
Yes.
Mila gives Myra the thing to read.
Oh my god, I jumped out of my seat. I was like, they're gonna let the paladins read?
I'm Mila. Here is your message from Fate Kyra. Myra, will you do us the honors?
The Fate's path may be dark and winding, but to the victor among you, the darkness will not be blinding. In the Marwood Forest, you shall seek and find the final fiery key. But to unlock the divine path of the Kingstone, you must unite all three.
Well, what makes me laugh is it's clearly written in verse, but Myra doesn't read it in verse.
Yes.
Myra reads it like she got called on in class and doesn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm. This is also by far the earliest we've seen the Paladins in an episode of the Quest.
So, Emmett and Mila come out looking really too happy to see the Paladins, and then it comes out that the Divine Sword, Cedric, and Adeline are missing, and Emmett's reaction can be summed up as, anyway.
I guess I'm king.
Yeah, like, it's very, oh no, anyway. And Mila and Emmett has sort of become second Mila.
Yes.
So, in the original Quest, we had Creo the Dreamer, who was definitely Mila's role in like, the Oracle, the
right.
Dreamer. Mm-hmm. Although they stopped calling her the Dreamer after the first episode.
They call her the Oracle.
And Ansgar was their trainer. Mila is also their trainer. But I guess they have two NPCs. There's sort of just an error that kind of got dropped onto them.
Right.
And I almost wonder if there was some sort of rewrite at some point with Emmett.
Maybe.
Because Emmett's costume design, and this is going to be the first time I bring it up, but not the last.
Yeah.
Mila, Cedric, Silas, and Adeline. Silas is generally in purple, which is a very royal color. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mila, Adeline, and Cedric are often in dark blue.
Yes, like a navy.
And
aquamarine.
Adeline's and Cedric's are more like rich, obviously, because they're the heirs of Sanctum.
Right, of course.
And Mila's is accented in her, like, night wear.
Yes.
Emmett's dressed like a paladin.
Yes, he is, which is very odd.
To the point where I almost think that his role was supposed to be substantially different.
Possibly. I can believe that.
So, they have a labyrinth.
Yes, so they are going to look for the firestone that will release the torch. But they have to go through a labyrinth to find it.
Yes.
I will say this. The labyrinth is often shot from above, but there's also, like, shots of them running through it. Mm-hmm. And in the shots from above, it's very clear that the labyrinth is impossible. That they are fully walled in. So there's an element of it where you have to stick your finger into, like, a hole in the wall and slide a board to open a door.
Yeah, like there's a mechanism.
So the paladins have to run through this maze, find a stone, then take the stone to the torch where they don't know where that is, and use the stone to retrieve the torch. There are moments where you see paladins helping one another.
Yes.
Like, you see Caden being like, I'm trapped, I can't get out of here. And, you know, Ava will be like, you gotta slide it. You stick your fingers in here, that'll help you get out. Oh gosh, thank you.
David! How do you get out of the first part?
It's like a lock maneuver to slide the boards where the lock is.
Where's the lock?
I need to find you, hold up.
You also see moments where people are playing to win.
Yeah.
Because, what's her name? Shireen? Serene. Serene finds the torch almost immediately. But that's useless without the stone. So she runs back to try to find a stone, stutter steps for a moment, and turns around and shuts the door behind her.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, actual gameplay. For the most part, this is very disorienting, and you can't really tell what's happening, but it's kind of in a good way because it's a maze.
Yeah.
Like, this is an acceptable challenge. I know I've been hard on the challenges in the past. I think this one's acceptable.
I mean, Ava and Serene really stand out in this challenge. Ava's the one who figures out the doors.
Yes.
Ava's been the one to figure out the doors every time. Mm-hmm. And she helps a few of the other contestants, because Tashani and Holden and Sean almost never get stuck. Or almost never get out, rather.
Yeah, they just remain in their little cages.
Serene finds the torch, shuts the door behind her, and, like, manages to get a crystal and find her way back to it. During this, we do get an intercut with Emmett and Mila.
Yes.
And Mila says,
Do you even care that they're missing? The crown you are so consumed with is gone. This entire quest could be in vain, and yet you still insist on vying for the throne.
So, what now? You believe Adeline and Cedric are more worthy than I?
They're your siblings, my dude.
What is this argument?
And then that's when she gives the line, a kingdom divided is already defeated.
A kingdom divided is already defeated.
What is that supposed to mean?
Dude, she wasn't even speaking in metaphor. A kingdom divided is already defeated. Do you not know some of the words in the sentence? Like, it's so weird. Like, we see them kind of like now they're hitting a rough spot. The honeymoon period is over between Emmett and Mila, but don't worry, this won't come up again.
No, like... So, Serene ultimately wins the challenge.
Yes.
Part of which because she closes the torch door behind her. Because she's not the first one to find a crystal.
Yes.
Ava and Holden both find crystals as well.
But she knows how to get back to the torch once she finds a crystal. That being said, soon as she wins, everybody rushes in, and it's immediately like, this was a team effort.
I feel almost bad holding this because, you know, you all helped me in a way. Like Holden, you told me about the doors, and David, you told me about the first door, and just thank you all so much.
We're proud of you, Serene.
Oh man, what a great team we are. And I was like, okay, so this is what we're doing. This is all about teamwork. Got it. I'm excited for this finale.
There's a couple reactions I do note here, though. Caden's really proud of her. Caden and Serene clearly have a friendship.
Yes.
I wish we could have seen more of it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I will continue to come back to. Ava is a little less enthusiastic. Like, she's visibly disappointed, which is very natural. And I wish we gave the show space to let the players deal with those feelings.
Yeah.
We don't.
That'd be something.
Mila gives Serene a big smile because Serene is 5,000% the NPC's favorite.
Yes, everybody loves Serene.
And Adeline, who's missing or a fugitive or something, rocks up.
Yeah.
Right as Emmett touches the torch and has the same kind of vision that Adeline and Cedric have had.
Yes, about being king.
And Cedric has been captured in Emmett's vision, and Dravis bears the mark of the Dark Legion.
Yeah.
This absolves Adeline to everyone.
This bothers me so much because Emmett has a vision and just goes, it's Dravis. Dravis is the problem. And all the paladins go, of course. That Dravis. I was like, not one of you is like...
Ava did bring it up in the very first scene, because I have a note here that says Ava is genre savvy.
Right, that she was like, I don't trust Dravis.
Yeah.
The point I am making is, in the previous episode of Stay Doomed, we had the moment where they're like, Adeline's a thief and a betrayer. And 100% of the paladins go, that's a lie. She's innocent, based off of nothing. We are now 24 hours later, and the same thing is happening. Someone is saying Dravis is a traitor and a liar. And 100% of the paladins go, of course, he'll pay for this. Because none of them have real agency. They're being told how to react to everything.
Yeah.
There's not a moment where they're like, well, maybe that's a false vision. Maybe a false vision provided by Adeline, who just rocked up out of nowhere, who's supposed to be in prison. You have to think zero while watching this show.
Emmett does not want to split up. But Mila says, like, look, Adeline and Emmett, get the scepter, meet at the Fates Temple. We don't feel like having to drag you around for this side quest.
We need to drop you off somewhere.
The guards are missing. Silas comes in to the throne room to find Dravis sitting on the throne who tells him to leave, and they have a power struggle. Emmett casts Fireball, Dravis casts Fireball, they go to Silas, and Dravis nopes out through the mirror.
Yes.
Which is kind of funny. He goes, oh, bye.
Yes. Yeah, they both cast Magic Missile, and Dravis gets eaten by the metaphor. But here's the thing. This is what I really want to point out, is the way he goes through the mirror is he holds the mirror over his head and then drops it on himself so that he goes through. So both of his hands have the mirror, right? Mm-hmm. And then he lets go to escape.
Yep.
Where's his scepter?
Oh.
Well, how is he going to do magic?
Oh.
Because he doesn't have his scepter. I'm being told it's not a scepter, it's a stick, and that those are different things. My apologies.
We see Cedric in a cage as the paladins approach, and there's like an elaborate pulley system to get him out. Holden starts to figure out the pulley system immediately.
Yeah.
This is kind of like Holden's moment in the sun thus far. Mm-hmm. And Holden has won a talisman already, but like this moment where we really see Holden like put in the work. Mm-hmm. So he gives orders, they free them, and they see the guards.
They have to do it quietly because the guards are right over there, though.
Playing with the divine sword. And there's other prisoners who are less special, so they're not in a cool pulley cage. They are sitting loosely tied together.
Yeah, they're sitting with their hands tied in front of them, just looking at the Dark Legion.
With, like, scarves.
Yeah.
Like...
with yo-yo string.
Like, Taskmaster, they tied themselves up.
Yeah. So...
Cedric says he'll distract the guards and sends the kids to go free the prisoners. Cedric's big distraction plan is as follows. Ah!
I'm distracting! So they has fight. There's a cool fight scene with Cedric and Mila versus the Dark Legion.
Yeah, and that's when we find out that Mila's finishing move is sweet chin music.
Yeah, she hits a sweet super kick.
Like... she has a sword, but she just keeps kicking people.
Because no one can get stabbed in a Disney Plus show.
Yeah, she does bloodlessly murk whoever she just hits with her sword. Mm. In this show, swords are not sharp. They are blunt objects that you get hit with and then you go fall down. Mm. And there's a moment where they are back to back with the, the guards around them. And Cedric goes, should we take 2 each? And Mila goes, okay. And I was like, ooh, in that moment, they have had
way more chemistry.
More chemistry. Like, this moment has more sexual tension than any of her, like, interactions with Emmett. Mm-hmm. Like, her interactions with Emmett are very, like, gee-whiz puppy love. Mm-hmm. This moment, I was like, oh, Mila and Cedric are gonna, like, go do a thing later.
Yeah. I must say, this is by far the best challenge that they do. Because it's not a game.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm in trouble. The only way to get me out is using this pulley system. Use this pulley system to get me out. Rather than the previous games, which are, I'm a big scary monster, you want my gem? Well, then you're gonna have to play a carnival game. This, like, everything that happens in this challenge makes sense as a plot point. Like, it is not a game, it's not a challenge, it's like a task that needs to be done to save someone. You can make that argument about, like, putting together the node for this dome or whatever. This is the best one.
Yeah, this one, there's a lot happening. It's fun. And Holden wins a talisman.
Yes. Holden doesn't just win a talisman. They're like, all right, Holden, you did a great job here. You win the talisman of friendship. So I was like, okay, so the theme is that the last talisman given out is friendship. Because it's almost like being a team is more important than being an individual who becomes the one true hero. It's like it's been the theme for 7 episodes. And you know what? It's a fine theme. But you gotta bring that one home at the end.
Are you foreshadowing?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm foreboding is what I'm doing.
So then Cedric steps forward and thanks and apologizes to the Paladins. And Serene, absolves him on behalf of the group. Mm-hmm. If this was fiction, Serene is the one true hero.
Yes.
If this is actually fully scripted, Serene has the most journey. She struggles. She's started to evolve. Mm-hmm. And she's always kind of in focus, and she's always making sure to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So they head to the Fates Temple. The color grade grows lighter.
Yeah.
Adeline and Emmett await, and the siblings finally embrace and weep. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, my sibling! Nobody brings up that Emmett completely shrugged off their disappearance.
Yeah. That's a great point, actually.
This is the first time I note in my notes that Emmett is dressed very similarly to the Paladins, mm-hmm. which again makes me strongly consider that there might have been a rewrite between costuming and production.
Yeah.
Because he looks so he looks much closer to the Paladins than even Mila does.
Yeah.
Mila looks closer to Cedric and Adeline than he does.
Yeah.
And I have not been able to find anything that proves any of this. All of the interviews with these actors are dated within the same 3 weeks, and they're all puff pieces.
Of course.
They're all Disney, what's on DisneyPlus.com pieces. So
right.
They're all I'm really excited. My character, Cedric, he is the hot-headed prince. They're so glancing surface level mm-hmm. that I have not been able to find much where they really get into the production. If for some reason you were in the quest and you would like to talk to us,
please come talk to us.
Laura Crane on Blue Sky, Glitter and Glow Tape on Instagram.
Yeah.
Message me. I do look at messages. I promise. I do have a note here about the Paladin's outfit. They have a cool chainmail hoodie, and at that point, I'm I'd buy one.
Yeah, you should sell it.
Yeah, for cold weather Ren fairs.
Yeah.
We end episode 7 with David, Serene, and Ava, who won the respective challenges, given the ability to present the 3 totems to the Fates.
Yes. And now we're ready for episode 8. Episode 8 starts with Dravis in the piss dimension. He's just kind of in this weird yellow forest.
Yeah.
And King Silas is there and he kind of yells at him.
Yeah, he's a vision of Magnus.
Oh, it's Magnus, excuse me.
The King of Sanctum who died in the first episode.
Right.
Who is Silas's brother, to be entirely fair.
Okay.
And is distorted.
Yeah, through the piss filter, because he's in the piss dimension.
And Tavora appears to him and introduces the guard to him.
When you say Tavora appears to him, you mean he falls into the middle of the forest out of a mirror.
Yes.
After escaping. Say it with me.
He's flushed out of
the piss dimension. Continue.
Tavora's this is the guard, and you're one of them now. And he was I thought we were going to rule together. And she was you're stupid.
You're so dumb.
You're dumb.
Yeah. She's well, I'm not going to be another soldier. And she snaps her fingers, and now he's a mindless drone.
So then the kids set up the magical 3 sticks, Charlie.
Yeah.
And guys, we have retired Pour It Out some years ago. This episode's gonna sound like we didn't. We did retire the Pour It Out.
I'm gonna we're
gonna get punchy during this.
There's a chance I'm gonna have to get up and walk around the room for what happens next.
So they are all deserving of the title, yay! But only 3 can do the final trial. And
why? Sorry.
And I want to get through the first one first because this makes sense. David won 3 talismans, marks, whatever. David is in the trial. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now we get into the other. Now we get into some shit.
Tied for second.
Ava, Holden, and Serene each have 2 talismans. Mm-hmm. Only one of them gets to advance.
Yes, so the paladins must vote on which of them will get to move on. And then they will do a third vote, or a second vote for the third person, and it can be any of them.
It's ostensibly one of the others. But that's not really made clear. Because someone does vote for someone who does not win. So, I want to talk about this, because it does seem like there was a mistake.
So, this is so wrong. Because we start with David, right? All right, let's just really break this down.
Yeah, David does not go with the rest of the paladins.
Yeah.
David's just kicking it with the fates during all of this.
David doesn't get a vote
Which is weird,
anymore,
yes.
which is odd.
His reward for 3 talismans is that he doesn't have to get into an awkward conversation. Yeah. Which, like, bless, that's a great reward.
But I want you... listen, there's 8 of them, right? There's 8 of them. So then, you take David out, he doesn't get a vote, right?
Yeah, so that means 7.
So now, the decision of 4 people... The 4 that only have 1 talisman will choose out of the people with 2 talisman, the 3 with 2 talisman, who gets to move on to the finals.
Yes.
So after 7 episodes of teamwork, suddenly it's a social game. Suddenly it's like, well, we got to pick out one of these. And they just kind of have this conversation of like, I think Holden's great because he's like nice. I think Sari showed a lot of spirit.
Yeah, they have these little like non-conversations. So Caden nominates Serene, which I talked about in the last episode of like, we've really established that Caden and Serene did have some sort of bond.
Yeah.
They talk about being theater kids really far back in the first or second episode. And so we're to understand, these 2 have a bond. Mm-hmm. We don't spend a lot of time with any of the kids and any of their, like, relationships with one another. So this is as much as we get. Myra pushes for Holden, Sean votes for Serene, and Tashani votes for Holden. Which is, like, a very interesting... The girls vote for one of the guys, and the guys vote for one of the girls. Ava's supposed to be in this group and no one votes for Ava.
Yeah.
So they make Ava be the tiebreaker.
Yeah. At which point I would look down the lens and go, I vote for me?
I partially thought she would do this, especially when you kind of see the reflection of like her disappointment in the previous challenge of she's the only reason anyone got anywhere.
Yeah.
And they didn't win. So she votes for Holden.
Justice for Ava.
Justice for Ava. Justice for Serene. I think the way to handle this is those 3 competitors should have competed for those 2 spots.
Yeah, so what's then very confusing is Holden gets to go on. He's like, oh my god, thank you. This means a lot to me.
Thank you. Seriously, thank you. Go take your place, Holden.
You can do it, Holden.
You deserved it.
And he runs and he goes up to David and he's just like, I'm with you. And David's like, okay, cool. And then we cut back. So now Holden no longer gets a vote.
Yeah.
So now we have a total of
6 kids.
6 people deciding which of the 6 people are going to go. You think it's 6 people deciding which of the 4 who only have 1 talisman get to go. And I was immediately like, from a gameplay perspective, I'd be furious. Because if Serene had only won 1 talisman, I'd be like, oh, she'd wipe the floor with these other 4.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's dumb. And then someone goes, well, I'm going to vote for Ava.
I'm going to vote for Ava. Definitely.
Myra tries to vote for Ava.
And I was just like, oh, everyone just vote for Serene!
Well,
that's who you want to send!
Well, I actually had the thought of, was there a mistake no one voted for Ava. Did they not realize they could?
Maybe. The other explanation could be it was an editing mistake and that was supposed to be in the first part. This is so confusing. Once again, we have no lower third, so we can't keep track of votes.
Ava also, Ava takes a leadership role in this last vote, despite the fact that she just got royally effed over by her peers.
Yeah, this is so infuriating. And I want to throttle whoever the guy was that was like, well, how will we decide? Well, they'll vote who gets to go. All right, how are we going to do the vote? We'll film them having a conversation. Have you not ever seen a reality show? The vote is the thing with the biggest pomp and circumstances. Why aren't they, writing them down and throwing them into a fire and then there's a big poof that says Caden? Why is this done poorly on every conceivable level? What are they doing? And I'm not even done talking about how they screw this up.
No.
Because mid-conversation, it just kind of cuts back to David and Caden. David and Holden.
Yeah.
And they're like, so who do you think it's going to be? And then Shawnee walks up and was like, yeah, it's me.
Tashani comes in, and Tashani, I have a note a few episodes ago that was like, oh, hi, welcome to the show. Because Tashani has, sat out. I noticed Tashani sidelines herself a lot.
Yes. She is often sidelined.
So I found it very strange that she's who gets sent forward. Because if I was going to send someone out of the four, take Ava and Serena out, because I would have sent Ava and Serena on. Mm-hmm. But I think I would have sent Sean forward. Mm-hmm. Because Sean really, is very...
I would have picked Myra. But that's me.
Sean is very front and center. And Sean, tries. Mm-hmm. Out, next to Serena, I think Sean is the one who more personality gets to show through.
Yeah.
We don't see the conversation and we don't see the vote. So part of me thinks that, there may have been producer intervention of, we can't send 3 boys.
Yeah. I think there was definitely some sort of, you guys can't do it this way. Some sort of argument. In my head canon, during the argument, Tashani just runs away and says, oh yeah, they totally picked me. And then they're like, all right, we'll definitely send Ava. Where's Tashani? The quest started? So now we have our 3. We have David, who's the best at everything. Holden,
who has come through a number of times.
And Tashani, who's finally getting some camera time.
Yeah, Tashani, who literally was standing off to the side in at least 2 challenges.
Yeah.
Not seemingly participating.
And they walk through, some sort of portal, and now they have to do a challenge of some sort.
Yeah. My note here is this gameplay is pretend fair, but somehow much worse than unfair. Wow, I'm so done caring. I am, about to rage quit this show at this point.
Yeah. Lara was done at this point. The challenge was, first they had to make sticks. They had to make a big stick so they could whack things out of a tree.
They had to put something together.
Yeah, which, terrible television.
Also, one player was real good at this.
And also, to me, I was just like, are they a team right now? Is it the 3 of them trying to solve the quest? No, they're in a competition. Okay, that's weird. They knock something out of a tree and it tells them where to go.
Yeah.
They run and they have to now stack stones.
They have to stack stones with runes on them.
Yeah.
And I think if Ava had been brought through, I think the runes on the stones gave you an idea of what order to put them in.
Yes, but they never discuss it.
But These are not 3 of the players that studied these?
Yes, Ava made flashcards. I'm sorry I made fun of you.
I never made fun of you, Ava. I thought you were right, and my notes are full of LMAO should have brought Ava. Ava sure would be useful here. Should have brought Ava. Like, I think I have that listed 4 or 5 times here.
So we watched them play Jenga for a bit as they try to build a rock tower.
Holden goes first. Holden has an insane lead.
Yes.
By the third part of the quest. Holden gets his stacked and is long gone. Mm-hmm. Even though David got to the rocks first, he really stumbles on this balancing challenge.
Yeah.
To the point where Tashani ultimately completes this before he does.
So after the stone thing, it says run across the bridge and there'll be a clue. And it says something about
a tower of stone, imposing and great. You must climb to the top. Fear not, don't hesitate. Take the crystal in hand, there's no time to wait.
And you're supposed to then figure out, that means a castle. So they run to a castle, and there are 3 ropes hanging off the side. And they have to climb the side of this castle. They have to climb this rope. Turns out Holden's afraid of heights. It has never come up before. But suddenly, he's terrified of heights. And we get to watch Holden move his arms while a harness pulls him up a castle. Because, I understand that, they're not going to really just free solo this castle. But, they try to hide the fact that there's a harness and stuff.
No, they don't. The harness is, a much brighter color than, he is very visibly in a harness.
Yeah, but they edit out the thing that's actually pulling him up. Because there's all these shots of his arms moving, his feet not touching anything. He's not doing the gym class, using the rope as a brake thing. He's not even doing the put your feet on the castle to help you climb up like Batman thing. He's just kind of pulling on this rope and flying up this thing.
He is
like Fezzik in The Princess Bride.
I would have to rewatch it because I was so distracted by the harness. I didn't really catch that. Holden gets to the top of the finds the fire crystal, and David just gets over there. David never even gets into the harness.
Yeah. And then he just grabs it, and then they come back.
And he's the hero.
And he's like, you did it. Holden, you're the one true hero. And I was like, you mean to tell me after 7 episodes of teamwork, you didn't even have the last challenge in front of everyone? I was so sure that they were at least going to be you 3 have a chance to be the one true hero, but you're only as good as your friends. Pick teams. Or something.
Yeah, I...
This is the worst challenge I've seen to end a reality show ever. And I watched Shattered, where the last challenge was watching people fall asleep.
This reminds me a little bit of Whodunit.
Yeah?
Because, do you remember Lindsay from Whodunit, who was Chris is the killer, Chris is the killer? I'm picturing a montage of her just popping into different rooms going, by the way, Chris did it.
Yeah, it's Chris.
And she was slightly less fast and therefore lost, despite the fact that she solved the murders.
Yeah.
That's sort of what this reminds me of Holden climbed... They also... You make a comment about the ADR here. He makes a comment that his fear is heights. That is clearly ADR'd in. Yeah. So that he has some sort of character arc. So we care.
I have an amazing ADR line where he's everyone's hugging him and celebrating, and he goes, I had to climb a castle. Heights are my biggest fear. I demolished that fear today. I was is that what you said?
And now
because it sounds like you're in a different room.
We still have 20 minutes of the show. Because he's the one true hero, but now we have to see him hero. Now, in the original quest, this is 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Lena is declared the one true hero. Hi, Lena. My old chum. And that sounded sarcastic, but genuinely isn't. But like, Lena's like, once you're hero, boom, bye Verlox. And they're like, haha! And they also all kind of gather around Lena, and there's this like moment of like, yeah, Sun Spear, woo! And then she wins. We gotta have like a whole cinematic here.
Yes. So they're gonna go to war. Basically, now that Holden is the one true hero, they give him a script. Because now all of a sudden Holden's like, I have a plan.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, so whoever was the one true hero, we get to say these 8 lines during this next bit. So the plan is that they are going to sneak back into the castle, because now the castle has been taken over by this Dark Priestess and the Dark Legion and all those folk. Holden's plan is they're going to lock it down. They're going to lock everyone into the castle.
Yes, they secure the castle.
So they redo the mirror challenge. I'm so upset by this.
We never see David hold a mirror during this.
Yeah, we never do see David hold a mirror. But my immediate thought is, oh my god, they're going to win with teamwork finally. And yet we did this whole stupid one true hero thing. 2, they're going to win by doing the challenge they failed. Which makes me think, did they really fail it the first time, or was that a plot point for it to come back like this? I think other challenges do also come back, so there is a chance that they actually failed. But what's most infuriating is they're doing this part in the daytime. The original challenge was in the nighttime, where they had a laser that you could actually see because they filled the air with smoke so you could see a beam. This is 100% CGI.
Yeah.
So they're actually not doing anything anymore. So now we're just seeing them pretend.
Yeah. Which is what we see for a lot of this. Mila sees the heirs have been the guards kidnapped the heirs, and Mila no-sells it. Mila's like, well, that sucks. Despite the fact that she has, developed a love interest with one of them. David and Holden run up and distract people. And I was like, is the one true hero bait right now?
Yeah, they use him as bait.
Tishani and Sean grab some scrolls, and then they redo the puzzle where the chickens were?
Yeah, they redo the potion game again. I think we missed it real quick, but I need to bring this up. There's a moment where they're like, okay, so the dome's up, I have a plan. And then they huddle so that they can whisper it to one another. Because 1, they don't want to be detected. And 2, they don't want the audience to know what the plan is.
Yeah.
So, all right, ready? Okay, cool.
1, 2, 3.
I was like, ooh, good sneaking. It's always good to yell when you're sneaking.
So then Ava rocks up with a shield.
Yes.
And she, Holden, and David cover Tishani and Sean. And they hand off the scrolls to Caden and Myra. And then I have a note of, it's a Ren Fair relay.
Yes.
They stealth past some guards and leave 2 bottles as bait. And then Serene pops up and has the actual big damn hero moment.
She has a full-on bow and arrow.
And she, shoots both bottles. And, I don't know how many times she had to shoot them to get these perfect shots. But looks great.
Oh, I can tell you. She didn't. There's a close-up shot of her firing an arrow. And then they did a shot where a bottle breaks.
And I have this note of, I feel like this was choreographed assuming a different outcome.
I think this was choreographed to be the ending no matter who won. Because Suri mentions being an archer earlier. I think this was just like, all right, this is what we'll do until this part, which we're about to get to, where the one true hero will take center stage.
So, Tavora comes out, sees the paladins, and demands the Kingstone. And there's a moment where I think it's going to be really cool, because all of the paladins have their hands behind their backs.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they're going to do, the Statue of Liberty player.
They're going to I Am Spartacus this.
Yeah.
And then Holden goes,
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Yes.
When she threatens them for even a second, Holden's immediately like, yeah!
They
have a fight that probably looks really stupid in person.
Yeah. They have this, light comes out of both of them, and it bashes into each other.
It's the Harry Potter Voldemort.
Yeah, he's like, I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. And whatever. But then they get the crown, and he puts it in the crown, and now all the stones are together. So now he has, all the Infinity Stones in the Infinity Gauntlet. The crown is thrown to him by Dravis, right? Dravis at the last minute face turns?
Yes.
And then Devora hits her with a spell. He poof bamps the way the king did originally in the first episode. It just kind of fizzles away.
But before that happens, he manages to yeet the crown to Holden.
Yes. Now that it's in the crown...
We have the same dumb CGI battle.
Yeah, but his Schwartz is now stronger, and it hits Devora, and she dies.
Yeah.
She kind of vaporizes, and I yell out, I took a life, yay!
Mila frees the heirs. She and Emmett embrace, and I don't know if you caught this, Emmett clearly thinks they're going to do, a big Disney kiss.
No, I don't
And, that's not what's happening.
We're not going to do that.
Holden hands the crown to Adeline, and then the heirs pass it back and forth, and they go see the Fates. The Fates are the only thing that, the first quest, they just don't look good as hell.
Yeah, they look good.
They're gorgeous. Their set is beautiful. They are exactly what they are supposed to be. Wonderful.
This, believe it or not, is probably my favorite part in the show.
Okay.
Is the Fates take the crown and they put it in this thing. And the crown kind of always had these interesting layers to it. It then splits into 3 crowns. But they're all parts of the same crown. And then each of the heirs get a crown. Because they're all going to rule. And I was like, that was cool. That was actually set up. And there was some nice storytelling there. So there's something in this episode I like.
And it was actually it goes in with the theme that they've been setting up through the whole show of stronger together. Yeah. Of stronger together.
So in the end, the theme of teamwork was for the heirs and not the paladins. Because Holden's the one true hero. They bring all the extras back and they throw flowers and there's a big celebration because there's peace in the kingdom.
We get the sequel hook of, when darkness returns, it as always will, so too will the quest.
Yes.
So kind of just saying season 2, baby. Now we're going into what I like to call the Star Wars A New Hope sequence.
Yes.
Princess Silas gives the medal to everyone, including Chewbacca. The heirs, let me rephrase that. Adeline and Cedric are now dressed in silver and look resplendent. Mila and Emmett are dressed differently, but again, Mila looks closer to how Adeline and Cedric are dressed than Emmett does. Emmett looks like a yassified paladin.
Yep.
No second outfit for the paladins, which I think kind of sucks. I don't have a second outfit. Come on, they worked for it.
It's the outfit they showed up in.
They're not getting paid very much. Oh my god, give them a second outfit. It's a bit of a curtain call. They call them each by name and give them a medal to take back with them. And the heirs and Mila embrace the paladins, and the paladins walk into the woods together and to vanish back into our world. And then we get one last scene with the NPCs before the stinger, which is Cedric says, like, what will become of us? And Adeline goes, like, we'll rebuild. And then Mila goes, so, like, what becomes of us? And Emmett, like, they awkwardly bluster at each other about, like, calling each other Oracle or their names or whatever. And then her like, Tesseract orb glows. We have to return to Sanctum. And then all four of them run away. And then Dravis wakes up in the Shadow Realm, or...
Yeah, the Piss Dimension.
To face a scary monster, and he screams and the show ends.
Yes.
Forever. Again.
So, few things.
My last note is literally, okay.
A few things I really want to push here. In the world of the show, the Paladins are the greatest heroes as they had reclaimed the King's Stone and have saved Everelm.
Yes.
They throw them a small party, and then, in canon, wander off into the woods.
Yep.
And then they get taken by a portal. It's like, that's the end of them.
They don't even, like, guide them to the border.
Yeah.
Like, we don't get, like, we get, like, a 2-second, like, everybody hugs. I think this would have been a time for Silas or Mila or one of the other NPCs to say, like, David, your courage and, like...
Yeah.
Talk about the Paladins a little bit.
They're not even the end of the show.
No.
Because
they're not even this... They're like 2 scenes away from the end of the show.
They have this scene where they're like, oh, we have to return. Something else is wrong. So immediately they're like, oh my god, we need new Paladins. Not these Paladins. Because the idea of, like, if there was a season 2, we would never see those people again.
Yeah.
We'd get a new stack of Paladins. And then it should be mentioned, just because it's true, the fact that Dravis wakes up and screams in the face of a bad CGI monster implies that the king is still alive. That whatever Devorah's magic was didn't kill them, but sent them to the Piss Dimension. So, if there was a season 2, it would be about saving the king.
Yeah.
So the stinger at the end is about how the whole thing with the 3 heirs doesn't matter.
Oh my god.
Like, literally, the end of the show is everything you saw does not matter.
So, I did some research. Most of what I could find that was remotely usable is from Reality Blurred.
Okay.
So, thank you, Andy Denhart. I've used Reality Blurred multiple times as a source for this podcast. I'm giving him props this time especially, because he's pretty much the only usable source about this show.
Okay.
So, this show had some production stuff.
All right.
This show had some serious production concerns. They announced this coming back pre-COVID, if you recall correctly.
Yes.
And because of that, they ended up... It was going to film in July 2020. COVID hits. And they then have to figure out how to deal with COVID. This is filmed, like, very during COVID.
Okay.
Like, extremely during COVID. Like, early 2021 COVID?
Okay.
So, they couldn't go abroad, because they were originally going to go abroad for this, into, I believe, Austria. But they had to stay local. And the winery that they shot at, that was like the Castle Winery, did not have rooms on site. So they all stayed in hotels.
Right.
So you are breaking immersion entirely.
Yes.
Every single day. Mm-hmm. Which is not done in the original Quest.
Right, of course.
These are also all children.
Right.
I think the single biggest misstep this show makes is continuing to move forward with children once COVID and all of this become an issue.
Oh, so you think because adults could be better wrangled and don't need adult supervision all the time, you could have done a better show with just adults?
You could have made this more immersive if... they tried. Apparently there was a room that they would bring the kids to at the beginning of every shooting day for them to kind of just, like, reacclimate and kind of just, like, get into character, so to speak.
Yeah, play some Zip Zap Zop and figure it out, warm up.
Their parents can always see them via monitor because of legal reasons with filming with minors.
Okay.
And ostensibly, their parents are probably staying in the hotel with them.
Right.
So unlike most shows, they are getting so much parental input.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any usable information from the Paladins.
Right.
But I can't shake the idea that at least one Paladin had a parent in their ear every night when they got home. Like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?
I feel like this is just, like, it's an acting gig at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's an acting gig with some improv elements. So I know that there's an element of acting that has to happen when you're in a situation where, like, you are pretending that you live in a fantasy world. But this removes, like, so much of the elements of reality show from it that the fact that it tries to be a reality show at the end just makes it frustrating. In the end, this is not a reality show. It is a reality show second to being a fantasy show. And that's what they wanted to do. That's why it's filmed the way it is. That's why there's no talking heads. They want it to be a fantasy show. But in doing that, the Paladins are the B-plot. Like, do you remember the show Drawn Together?
Yes.
There's a joke in Drawn Together where Toots is crying. And, what's his name? Captain Hero walks by and shoves her and says, "Out of the way, B-plot, main story coming through." And that's what it feels like is happening constantly. Like, we cut away from challenges so that we can watch Mila and Emmett have a conversation that never comes up again.
And do you know one of the reasons we spend so much time with these NPCs?
Why? Because they didn't have enough footage?
Sort of.
Okay.
Kids can only work a couple hours a day. They can only film with the Paladins X hours a day.
Okay.
Which means you have all of these times where you are going to have all of these other people. And you can't just not film.
Right.
Or do nothing. Production took about 3 months on this. According to Reality Blurred, production took place starting November 19th. Filming was supposed to finish February 13th, but was extended to March 10th. Now, I don't think the Paladins were on set for 4 months to film this. I would wager they were only there for a few weeks.
Right.
But probably there's a significant amount of pre-production. There's at least 2 to 3 weeks that were just rehearsals and training and combat for the actors.
Okay.
They also did improv training with all of these actors.
Of course.
Including bringing in fake kids.
Oh, okay.
And, like, not fake kids, but, like, not the Paladins.
Yeah, they did a dry run.
Yes.
That makes sense.
They sort of set up a lot of things. The producers admitted that they didn't think the Paladins were going to play so nicely.
Really?
I think this has a lot to do... I'm thinking about Kid Nation and Mola Beach, and I'm thinking about Kid Nation a lot with this. Because you remember Taylor and how they talked about how Taylor got a lot of blowback online for being a brat?
Yes.
And I wanted to point out multiple times, like, this is a 9-10-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
This is 2021, where everyone is, like, very online because everyone is very isolated. If one of the Paladins had been sort of had an attitude or been mean or unlikable, the internet could have really eaten that person up.
Yeah.
And I think there is a knowledge of that, and I think that's why the producers keep the Paladins so insulated from the audience in that way.
It's possible. It's very possible.
Because all of what the producers say are like, you know, the contestants have a lot of points of view on it. They threw a lot of stuff at our actors. They act like the Paladins in these...
Ruined my good show.
I mean, the producers talk like the Paladins went rogue and the Paladins kind of did whatever they wanted. And I do not get that impression from the show.
No.
I get the impression that this is essentially a high-class LARP for 8 kids where they are not the leads.
So that reminds me. There are 2 comparisons I keep hearing for this show, and I would like to address them both. One is LARP, and the other is Escape the Night. I don't think this is anything like Escape the Night.
This couldn't be further from Escape the Night, in my opinion.
Same. I completely agree with that, because Escape the Night was Joey Graceffa finding someone to write a story around him and his friends.
I think about Destorm in season 2 of Escape the Night. Destorm plays the heel. He plays a villain.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back in season 4, he has a redemption arc.
Mm.
I don't think the producers were willing to offer up any of these children to the internet that way. And they shouldn't have, obviously.
Right.
I'm not saying the producers should have let one of these children show attitude.
Right.
There are 2 scenes, I think, that really show the NPCs having any kind of relationship. There is Adeline talking to Myra and Tashani, who at this point are the only 2 who didn't win anything. And I kind of maintain the talisman Myra and Tashani do win feels a little made up.
Yeah, I agree.
And part of me thinks it's so that we didn't have 2 who didn't win anything at all.
Right.
Like, I think there was an included fail state for, okay, if there's people who don't win anything, we are going to set them up to win something.
Mm-hmm.
And when Serene wins her first challenge and we see the NPCs genuinely very happy for her.
Right.
I think you could have done more to, like, give them a journey, even if it was a semi-scripted journey.
Right, yeah.
Instead, the show tries so hard to protect the Paladins, it actually just makes them tertiary to, like, A plot, Tavora, B plot, Heirs of Sanctum, C plot, Mila and Emmett, D plot, Paladins.
Yeah. Because another thing that I wanted to say about the fact that this is not a reality show, because we talk about the elements that go into a reality show, talking heads, lower thirds. Another big one is flashback. Like, so often, this is a very VH1 thing. You'll say something like, well, I haven't forgotten about how you threw that drink at me. And then they'll show footage of the drink being thrown.
Yeah.
There were so many moments, especially in that, like, voting area where it's like, I really appreciate how Holden was there to support me. That would have been a great moment for it to be like, flash, black and white, Holden being like, don't worry, kid. We'll get through this. But because that's not there, you can't properly tell a story. The other point I want to really address is, throughout these episodes, and like through things I've seen online, people are just describing it as a LARP.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I have LARPed.
What?
When you LARP, you have an impact on the story. I think this would be 90 times better if it was just a LARP. If it was just a big LARP with rules that you could understand, then you could show the gameplay of these brave paladins doing stuff, and then you could have the talking heads of them out of character being like, yes, when my character had to, work together, we had to do this, 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 and this. And you could also have talking heads with people like the heirs and have them saying things like, yeah, when we discussed this plot point, we really thought it would really mess with them. But I think the Paladins handled it well. If you just did a reality show about a LARP game, that would be a way better show than this. Because the whole way we would see the stakes, we would see the reason behind things, we would see the alternate paths that could take place, and you could still have damn talking heads.
I think actually you could have done something really interesting with a frame story.
Yeah.
Have it be, admit that the talking heads are well after.
That would be really great. Like,
Have
let me
it
tell
be
you the
like-
tale of the Paladins.
And like have the, so you went where? Like stage it.
Yeah.
It's the Paladins talking to each other or talking to other people after, which I feel like they kind of like, they try to have these little fireside sequences where the Paladins talk to each other that I think are semi-intended to be this, but they're so heavily coached. The show does not feel very successful.
Right.
And a lot of the reviews are pretty heavily mixed. A lot of the initial reviews are only on the first 2 or 3 episodes. And they mention that the Paladins don't feel important in the show. And I've seen some anecdotal reviews on Reddit and what have you. Again, there's very little usable research for the show. That states that a lot of people gave up after the equivalent of our first episode.
Yeah.
A lot of
that
them
makes sense.
don't make it this far.
Because I will say, like, the ebbs and flows of this, I thought the show was boring in the first couple of episodes. And then I thought it picked up in the middle. And I think the reason it picked up was we were done collecting the stupid stones. And, like, the castle was under attack. We were in chaos and things like that. And I understand, in order to upset the status quo and do that, you have to have episodes establishing the status quo. So then when everything gets disrupted, for it to make that left turn in the last episode being like, by the way, it's a vote, is so confusing. Like, I'm going to change this show with a single sentence. During the first challenge, the king says, remember, Paladins, only the one with the most talisman will guarantee their chance to be the true hero. Not even mention a final trial, just like mention the idea that if you have the most talisman, you guarantee a spot. It doesn't mean that you can't still win, but like you have the best chance of winning if you have all the talisman. Simply by saying that sentence in the beginning, everyone would play the challenges differently.
Yeah.
You would see teamwork disappear. Because the super objective is to save Everrealm. It's not to be the one true hero. It's just, this is a mess. The show's a mess.
And like, I hate the poster.
the poster of Mila?
The poster is King Silas, Princess Adeline, Tavora, Mila, one of the Guardians, the one that looks the most like Verlox, and then the 8 Paladins in no order. Holden's like off to the side, kinda small. Like, they're so unimportant. And the show has a 25 on audience vote on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
And its IMDb scores are similarly abysmal, with people comparing it to The Crystal Maze and Nightmare.
Okay, I could see it being similar to those.
Unfavorably.
Yeah.
It has a 3.9 as a series.
Yeah.
It is.
Bad.
It's also now technically lost media.
Yes. The only way you can watch it is if you're friends with someone in our Discord. Thanks to M for providing this for us. I know we screamed a lot about it. And we did hate it, but we do appreciate you.
This was pulled off Disney Plus in a major content purge in May 2023. Roughly a year after it was placed on there. It did not make much of a splash, but I think I can sum up the problems with this on the FAQ page of the Quest's IMDb page. One question. Who are the Paladins? Will they get credit as self or as uncredited cast? No one has answered this question yet. I think that summarizes the problems with this show.
Yep, I agree. I think that's a good place to wrap up. Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Stay Doomed, this wonderful 3-parter.
Well, what's your verdict?
Oh, it's a Stay Doomed. Oh, God, it's a Stay Doomed.
Oh, you know what? There's something we talked about that I wished this show had done.
Sure.
I think this show wouldn't have been awry to throw a few little bones to people who would watch the first season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, there could have been a part where they were in a tavern and, like, Bonnie was the singer.
Mm-hmm.
Or they mention a great librarian, Patrick.
Yeah, something.
Like, Patrick wasn't the librarian, was he?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like, sorry, it's been a while since I watched The Quest. But having these little nods to the original Quest would have been a really nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would have, if you're going to use this IP...
Use the IP!
Use this IP. Like, this is not a season 2 of The Quest.
No.
It's not as much fun. Its budget is higher.
Yeah.
But it's not as much fun. The most common criticism is that the Paladins are interchangeable, don't have a lot of personality. They were expressly forbidden from making any pop culture or current references.
Right.
And Serene apparently did go on the record of being like, I wanted it to be more like Scream and like self-aware. God forbid we let them have any personality.
No. So, that being said, I'll sign off with this. It's a Stay Doomed for me. Laura?
Stay doomed by virtue of the game over rule.
No, stay doomed.
No, if it went back to being the original Quest, back to Stay Tuned. Because I believe I said the original Quest was a Stay Tuned.
Okay.
So if it went back to being adult and immersive and fun and an actual competition show, back to Stay Tuned. This version, nah.
I'm full of so much rage. That being said, this is one of 2 shows that we have covered that was canceled and then came back from the dead. The other being Clone High.
Clone High.
I do want to say
we had very different reactions to those 2 shows.
We did do season 2 of Clone High for Stay Doomed. We didn't do season 3, but we watched season 3 recently as like a palate cleanser to this. I don't think it would make a great episode of Stay Doomed because we covered kind of all the stuff we'd say in the season 2 episode, other than it's really good.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it.
It's really, really good and funny, and I'm upset that it's gone. If you want to talk to us about anything, really, you can still join our Discord. You can find that in the links down below. Where else can people find us, Laura?
You can email us at the Stay Doomed Show or on Blue Sky at Stay Doomed.
And if you want to talk to me about Clone High, because I don't want to talk about the Quest, I'm at TV's Noah on Instagram.
If you were in some way involved in the production of this show and would like to talk to us, I genuinely would love to have a conversation. Even if I called you an NPC through the entire show, sorry, we're just using the term non-player character. I don't mean any offense to any of the actors. We would genuinely love to talk to someone who's involved in the making of this show. So please, Blue Sky, Laura Crane, Instagram, Glitter and Glow Tape. Until next time, stay doomed.
Razzie Month.
Oh no.